Water is essential for all forms of life and any kind of social and economic development. Permanent water security supports poverty reduction and economic growth, while contributing to improvements in social well-being and inclusive growth, affecting the lives and livelihoods of millions. However, the increasing water stress and growing global demand for water has forced tough decision-making about allocation of water resources, with a dire need to tackle the developmental challenges. India is among most exposed countries to natural catastrophes. 600 million people in India are expected to live in moderate and severe climate hotspots by 2050. About 82% of rural households in India do not have individual piped water supply, and 163 million live without access to clean water close to their homes. 30% of Indian land is impacted by desertification and land degradation, and this outcome is strongly linked to poor water management. Groundwater resources, which account for 62% of irrigation water, are declining. 70% of India's surface water is contaminated. The Indo-German Project on Water Security and Climate Adaptation in Rural India, WASCA, is commissioned by the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, BMZ, in partnership with the Ministry of Rural Development and Ministry of Jal Shakti of the Government of India during April 2019 to March 2022. The project is operational in 8 districts across 4 of India's largest states, namely Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, and Uttar Pradesh. WASCA also provided an additional support to the government of Karnataka through a special SFF fund in collaboration with the Jalamrutha program. The WASCA project worked closely with the flagship initiative of the Ministry of Rural Development and the largest public works program in the world, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. At Ministry of Jal Shakti, WASCA collaborates primarily with the National Water Mission. The WASCA project focused on improving the convergent planning and financing mechanisms for enhanced climate-resilient water security. One of the key contributions towards this was the development of the Composite Water Resource Management Approach, NWM, one of the 8 missions under India's National Action Plan for Climate Change. CWRM was customized and utilized for preparing 5,435 local government CWRM plans covering 7.4 million hectares across 10 districts in the 5 project states. This holistic approach looked at 4 key components. Convergence. For convergence, planning and action plans were consolidated at district levels and endorsed by the administration. Capacity building. Direct capacity building of 5,000 plus frontline functionaries through online and offline mode. Resource Center. WASCA resource centers were set up in the project states for facilitating remote sensing-based planning processes. Holistic intervention. 0.7 million holistic interventions for improving water security and natural resource management, NRM, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme and other programs.
As part of this project, selection of the district of Jodhpur is itself a testament to the fact that how important is it to work on these matters, especially in an area where there is a lot of water scarcity, which is one of the hard areas, so to say, because the Thar desert actually starts from here, and in this area, along with GIZ, we have used techniques like GIS mapping and resource management to identify works, and for the past few years we have been working on those projects.
In the 2 project sites of Jodhpur and Dungarpur of Rajasthan, GIS-based plans have been completed in 980 gram panchayats. 12,388 rooftops rainwater harvesting structures are planned to be constructed in government buildings, particularly panchayat offices, anganwadis, schools and public health centers with a storage capacity of 12.37 hectare meters. Around 98,588 hectares of degraded land have been identified for revival through plantation and afforestation. GIS mapping of 10,740 traditional water bodies have been completed for further intervention including desilting, bund strengthening and inlet-outlet construction. For rejuvenation of small rivers and rivulets, 2,496 drainage line treatment works have been planned covering a total of 1,721 kilometers. Through this, a total of 177,544 NRM and water-related works have been identified with a potential to be implemented under MGNREGS.
जिले में चल रही वास्का परियोजना से हमें सरफेस और ग्राउंड वाटर की ट्रेनिंग्स दी गई है। इसकी सहायता से हमने गांव के जो ऑफलाइन रेवेन्यू के नक्शे थे, इसको हमने डिजिटाइज फॉर्म में KML के रूप में बनाकर रखा है। इससे हमें कार्यों के चयन में, सही स्थान के चयन में हमें काफ़ी मदद मिली। जो CWRM प्लानिंग तैयार किया है, उसमें हमने गांव में पानी की कमी को देखते हुए एक वाटर बजट प्लान तैयार किया है, जिसमें हमने आगामी 5 सालों के स्ट्रक्चर्स तैयार किए, जिससे गांव में पानी की कमी को दूर किया जा सके।
In Madhya Pradesh, GIS-based plans were made for 885 gram panchayats across 13 blocks in Tikamgarh and Barwani. To ensure fodder availability and eco-restoration of common lands, a total 13,667 works have been proposed for the treatment of 134,719 hectares of degraded lands under these categories after scientific and participatory planning.
तो हम अगर इस प्रकार की टेक्नोलॉजी को, इस मॉडल को आम जन के बीच में ले जाते हैं और हम नरेगा के माध्यम से उनको ये प्रूव करके दिखाते हैं, ये साबित कर पाते हैं कि छोटे छोटे स्ट्रक्चर्स और छोटी छोटी मगर साइंटिफिक और मैथमेटिकली कैलकुलेटेड लोकेशन पे यदि हम काम करें तो वास्तव में जो भूजल है उसके संवर्धन और उसके संरक्षण का कार्य बहुत आसानी से किया जा सकता है। नरेगा एक वो व्हीकल है जिसके माध्यम से हम ये डिमॉन्स्ट्रेट करेंगे बाकी प्रदेश में कि ग्राउंड वाटर रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट प्लानिंग की जा सकती है, उसको सिविल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के साथ इनबिल्ट किया जा सकता है और हमारा यदि डिमॉन्स्ट्रेशन और प्रोजेक्ट सक्सेसफुल रहेगा तो इसका एक डोमिनो इफेक्ट जिसे हम कहते हैं होगा कि बाकी भी जो विभाग प्लानिंग में शामिल हैं या बाकी विभाग जो भूजल संवर्धन में शामिल हैं वो भी इस टेक्नोलॉजी को अडॉप्ट करेंगे।
Removal of encroachments in the water bodies within their renovation including desilting, constructions, strengthening of inlets, outlets, repairs etc. are planned across 6,361 traditional water bodies and 394 new water bodies with approximate storage capacity of 15,848 hectare meters.
WASCA project has really added a new dimension to this entire effort, and the quality of water conservation efforts that will be taken henceforth shall definitely improve.
In Tamil Nadu, GIS-based plans were developed for 1,1289 gram panchayats in the districts of Tiruvannamalai and Ramanathapuram.
Initially there was lot of hiccups because the people were not knowing what to do, how to do, and then we slowly built upon the guidances given by the state headquarters and also the central government. First and foremost thing which we did was the capacity and training of the officials.
Subsequently, GIS mapping was carried out for 2,409 PR tanks. 11 check dams and 90 recharge structures were identified for water harvesting and recharge as part of rejuvenation of sub-basins. Besides this, afforestation activities have been carried out across 1,000 gram panchayats and greening of hillocks across 14 locations as part of catchment area development. Around 100 model farm ponds have been developed as part of the project.
WASCA project has had significant impact on the entire planning process, and very soon we will be seeing it's a good impact on revival of fallow lands and its impact on agriculture, horticulture, and we will be moving towards comprehensive GIS planning in 2022-23.
In the state of Karnataka, GIS-based plans have been completed for 601 gram panchayats across 17 blocks in Tumkuru and Shivamogga. In this, GIS mapping of 3,845 water bodies have been completed. Rejuvenation of the sub-basins of 45 water bodies were carried out through water harvesting and recharge structures. 4,579 block plantation and 5,748 linear plantation activities have been carried out as part of catchment area treatment. 1,846 check dams, 2,664 recharge structures and 602 gully plugs have been identified for potential financing. A total of 15,729 NRM and water-related works have been identified with a potential to be implemented under MGNREGS.
ನಂದು ಹೆಸರು ಕುಸುಮಾಬಾಯಿ. 5 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ನಾವು ಕುರಿ ಕಾಯ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ನೀರಿನ ಕೊಳ ನಮ್ಮದು ಇವಾಗ ಅಳ್ಕುಣ ಆಗೈತೆ ನಮಗೂ. ನೀರು ಕುಡಿತೀವಿ, ನಾವು ಕುಡಿತೀವಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕುರಿನೂ ಕುಡಿತಾಳೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ದನ ಕುಡಿತಾಳೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅಳ್ಕುಣ ಆಗೈತೆ ನಮಗೂ.
As a climate adaptation project, WASCA is contributing towards slowing the effects of climate change on water and making rural regions in India more climate resilient. However, the climate crisis is a global one and requires greater convergent efforts worldwide to make way for a sustainable future.